man's got fire and a wild hot take. Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Laughing loud when your team goes down. Straub boys run this sports town. Show. Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. College game day and Thursday night. Rivals fall and the banter flies. We bleed our teams till the day we die. S-T-R-A-U-E, two loud mouths and a love for the league. From Cleveland roots to the world we go. This is the Straub Bro Sports Show.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the Straub Bro Sports Show, our special annual Thanksgiving edition, which means, yes, over this way, as you see it, my man busts out the turkey hat one time a year. We'll be giving out turkey legs like John Madden back in the day, but absolutely, it is time to get rolling. Absolutely, Oos is in the building, and yes, GM of the Rapids and player Morgan in early enough to catch the intro, the flyest intro in all the sports podcasts, baby. Yes, bro, let me be the first, although it's probably been all over your sports today. Let us and let my brother be the first to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Bro, what's going on, dude? I missed you last week. I missed you Thursday, riding solo all by myself.
Listen, I tuned in. It was a great show from what I saw. Absolutely amazing. No, it's great. Again, I was saying this before the show. It's my favorite episode of the year for this, and just because I love the way we kind of do all this stuff. And don't worry, these are already planned out. They're not on the fly. I know exactly where I'm putting these at. But no, let's get into it because listen, we got a lot to talk about because we only got one episode this week, so we got to hit everything.
Listen, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to smash it all in. We're going to get both our reviews and our previews today. And if you thought for a second, that I was going to let my two results from this past weekend go without some shit talking from this guy over here, then you have never tapped in with the Straub Bro Sports Show. Now, with that being said, bro, let's get rolling, my guy. All right? So, I missed you last week. However, you're tapped in, and the best part, yeah, you dang right, Oos, there's only one result we need to talk about. So, the beautiful part about doing this on Wednesday, bro, is we can skip right to the college football playoff top 12. We don't have to discuss. We don't have to guess. We don't have to yell about it. We got it right here on the board for you. So, let's get right to it. Not a lot changed at the top. Obviously, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Georgia. Locked in and good to go. Number 5, staying strong, Texas Tech. Then we had a little bit of movement. Ole Miss, Oregon, Oklahoma. Miami, and Tulane. Okay? So we're going to put it up here. There they are. There's your 10. It's a little messed up. It says USC, but it's supposed to be Miami. We know what's going on here. And Tulane. Question for you off top, my guy. 70 points enough for y'all to stop disrespecting my freaking Irish?
So, I think, one, great win, by the way. Absolutely fantastic, dominant win. Like I said, didn't quite put up the 100 that we were talking about, but you were close. You were close, closer than pretty much anyone's gotten all year. But no, obviously if you're talking about the media here, I have been nothing but hyping up your Notre Dame team because those first two losses were, one, against teams that are currently in the college football playoff, and two, were a combined loss less than a touchdown. And so this team was just getting kind of used to each other after the turnover, barely lost those games, and have now gelled together, and they're looking almost unstoppable. And so, in my opinion, you play those games now, I think this is a much different story and much different outcome. And I think the College Football Playoff Committee sees that, and that's why they're more than okay with keeping you as high up as they are, because they see that. They're saying that was early. It was a close game regardless. Now this is what this team is. And I think that's all that can really be said about it.
Neutrals, I don't even care neutral site. Texas A&M, we still play a close game with. We beat the shit out of Miami, and I don't care what anybody says. Okay? We rock that. So I don't want to turn this into an all-Irish thing, but yes, there was a lot of media. There was a lot of coaches. Notre Dame, how can they be ranked ahead of Miami when Miami has the head-to-head? Because Miami's got two absolute dog crap losses on their schedule, or on their record. We don't.
Yeah.
Okay? The Texas A&M loss looks great, and regardless of what Miami's playing, blah, 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 they're still there. The other thing that happened is Oklahoma made a big jump this week. I don't think anybody has a problem with that. I don't have a problem with Oklahoma going in and beating Alabama and then and making a rise in the poll. Ole Miss dropped one. My bad. I apologize. I had to bring it up because that I do not believe my graphic was correct, so I had to step back for a second. Oregon's in at 6. They went up. Ole Miss dropped down to 7. Then you have Oklahoma at 8, Notre Dame at 9, Alabama at 10. I don't have any problems there. Miami is in right now because they're the highest ranked ACC team. The problem for Miami is Miami does not have the easy path to the ACC championship game.
No.
Virginia is right there, ready to go and take that spot. So that would force Miami to try to get an at-large bid. And I've already heard it. The rumors have swirled. The nice and easy thing to do is put Notre Dame at 5, Miami in at 10, and we go do this again and we settle it on the field. And I want all that smoke. Listen, the last year's team was sketchy to me because the quarterback at helm could not throw the ball. I love Riley Leonard to death. This kid can toss it. This kid can make reads and throw it. This defense will turn over that ball so damn quickly, and I've got the best running back in the country. I want it. So I don't want to make this all about my Irish, but we were one of the biggest talking points of the week, so there's no way that I'm not going to address a 70-7 drubbing of an actual D1 program, not the Chattanoogas that y'all play in the SEC, a real D1 school. A lot of quarterback injuries and a lot of mess, but 21 rip before the offense takes the field, 35-0 with time left in the first quarter. And what did my coach say at halftime when he was asked about pulling his starters? The standard is the standard. These guys know how to play. Come on, man.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah. I'm waiting for the one that I want to talk about. Let's go back to the college football playoff real quick.
Okay, well, my graphic is incorrect, so
that's fine. I mean, Tulane is at 12, I'm assuming, still, correct?
Yeah, the only issue with this graphic is Ole Miss and Oregon should be flip spots.
Sure. This is my thing. So we talked about it on the show, and you've been angry about it, and I've tried to, reel it in. This is where I get angry, okay? Not angry, but disappointed. Tulane, while having a decent year, has 2 losses on their record, and their only wins on a Power 5 opponent is a 6-5 Northwestern team and a 6-5 Duke team. And they only beat Duke by 7. Now, if we look over around the Group of 5 landscape, there is a team who just picked up a win against a basically 500 Power 5 team, just like Tulane, and has I would say, better loss in terms of Tulane has lost 45-10 to Ole Miss, and then lost 48-26 over UTSA. The only loss that this team has is a 28-14 loss over Louisville. Now, obviously, Louisville has kind of dropped some lately, but we have all talked about this Louisville team being great in some aspects and then bad in others. And that team is James Madison. James Madison is 10-1. Like I said, their only loss is a 14-point loss to Louisville, and they have just the same amount of group or Power 5 wins as Tulane, with one less loss. And I know we're talking about a group of 5 team here that isn't showing that they've dominated or showing that they are absolutely necessary to be here, but we're talking about the current landscape of the CFP, which is the best group of 5 team gets in. And if we're talking resume and we're talking about the resume between these two teams, I don't understand how you can't have James Madison in this conversation when the only loss that they've had was a pretty close loss to a team that up until a week or two ago was fighting for the ACC championship game
in Louisville.
Yeah, in Louisville, and it wasn't a drubbing like the Ole Miss game was for Tulane.
Bro, do you really truly think you need to convince me that shitty team shouldn't be in the college football playoffs? And pardon my language. I'm sorry.
Well, the group of 5 team should be
the
dominant.
Best. Yes.
Right. I get that. I'm just saying in this instance, in the current CFP landscape where one team needs to get in, the fact that James Madison isn't in there, I think is like kind of it's showing favoritism to the American over the other conferences.
You mean the same NCAA that made that team file a lawsuit just to get to play in a bowl game? They've been trying to screw over James Madison since the minute that team became D1 eligible. So
that's what I'm saying. And the fact that they're doing it after losing their head coach to Indiana, I think is amazing to even consider too. That they haven't dropped a single level since losing him.
Right. And they didn't just lose a bum. They lost what people consider the hottest coach in college football right now. And they still rolling. So
exactly.
All
right.
Yeah. Okay.
Just wanted to get that.
So much for making sure that this show was kind of compact and rolling. We already thrown that out of the way. Here, you're going to get to yell a lot more as we roll through some of these scores real quick. Ohio State, 42-9 over Rutgers. They struggled for about a quarter. Then they became the Buckeyes again and got it together. We'll talk about them heavy this week. Indiana was off. Texas A&M, 48-0 to Samford. I know you're impressed.
Listen, I'm going to showcase my displeasure later, and so we can move on.
Georgia, 35-3 winners over Charlotte.
Like, okay, at least it's group of 5. Like, but it's the worst group of 5 team, I think, in the entire group of 5. So I can't even. No.
Charlotte is 1-10. We will talk about them this week. Unfortunately, Texas Tech and Ole Miss were both off. Oregon, 42-27 winners over USC. Welcome back, Ducks. Yes. Welcome back. This is what the hell we have been waiting to see from you for about 6 weeks.
That's the win they needed to truly show, okay, you're a contender. And no disrespect to USC, but I think that's the level that we're expecting from a team that's trying to get in the CFP. And I think USC, while building and getting better, just isn't at that level yet.
No. I will, man, how long? Never mind. I'm not going to do the thing with USC again. But I just, so overrated. Big Ray in the building, as always. Appreciate you, big dog. But hey, you're 100% right. This is what we needed to see from Oregon. This was a huge, huge victory for them, and it let the rest of the country know, hey,
yes,
we're still here. We can score some points. Now, the problem is that USC defense gives up points to anybody. They gave up points to Iowa, so They give up points, but still, nonetheless, go out there and win that game. Oklahoma. Speaking of winning that game, Oklahoma. 17-6 over number 22 Missouri. It was a struggle. It was a grind. But you know what? These are the games Oklahoma hasn't won in the past, and they have won them on a consistent basis this year.
No, you're right. Listen, I'm giving full props to Missouri. This defense has kept them in basically the entire season, and they kept them in this game. But you're right. This Oklahoma team feels different because in these games, instead of losing them or maybe barely winning, they are clearly the better team. This defense has stepped up miles since last year and even 2 years ago. And the offense is doing just enough to get through it. Now, if John Mateer and this offense gets going, this Oklahoma team, I could see beating pretty much anyone except for maybe the top 3 on this list, even potentially the top 3. But this defense in itself and the offense in its current state is more than CFP eligible. And beating a Missouri team that was on its last gaps, just throwing everything at you to stave its season, it's a great result.
100%. John Mateer, for me, I know he won't get it anymore, but he's back in that Heisman race for me because he put this Oklahoma team on his back and said, I'm not letting us lose.
No.
The defense is going to play lights out. I will make the plays that need to happen. They don't really have a running game. He is the running game. They remind me of Notre Dame last year without Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. Like they don't have a running game. It's all Mateer chucking that thing around and running it himself, but it's working because that defense is elite. Brent Venables was one of the key reasons that Clemson team was so damn good. Yes, Dabo had the offense in control. Deshaun Watson, Trevor Lawrence, Sammy Watkins, DeAndre Hopkins. Name the playmakers there on offense. They had them. Travis Anthony. The defense, though, was the thing that helped them not just stay in games, but win games. And Clemson doesn't have that anymore. And Oklahoma has that at an elite level now. And Brent Venables deserves all of that credit.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll keep it rolling. Love for Heisman. Number 9, Notre Dame, 70-7 winners over Syracuse. Couple tidbits. Syracuse hasn't lost that bad since 1896 when they played Union. I don't even know who Union is. The joke was it the Union Army? I don't know. Okay. Most points scored in Notre Dame Stadium ever. Okay. Just a ridiculous thing. Here's my real thing. 8 carries, 146 yards, and 3 touchdowns. When is my man Jeremiah Love going to get some Heisman talk, damn it? Because this has got to be it.
It's, like I said, when we talked about this last week, I believe, I love Jeremiah Love. I think he is a bona fide stud. Any team who picks him up in the NFL draft is going to be a lucky dude because he just runs hard. He breaks through tackles. He runs through contact. He sees holes. Absolutely fantastic. Now listen, very, very, very good. The issue is, I think also because of the earlier weeks in the season, the stats don't pop out. And so, listen, if he keeps going like this and having monster end of season games, he's going to be top 5, top 3. He just needs to make up that kind of, not shortcomings, but the lackluster results from the earlier weeks.
I'm Homer. I'm biased. I also still watch all of these games. Who else? The quarterback, the kid from Texas A&M, I'll give you. I don't want to hear about Sayin from Ohio State because he plays mid and that team is great. Who else?
Joe Fagnano, quarterback, UConn.
I got you. Moving on. Alabama, 56-0 over Eastern Illinois. Okay.
Anyways,
I'd
rather talk about my result than those results.
I will say this though: does he have enough touchdowns for you yet, Drew?
I mean, he's third. Kyron Lacey from Ole Miss and Hawkins from North Texas has more.
Come on, dude. If
okay,
we got to run against,
you still have Kyron Lacey from Ole Miss.
That's fine. No. The team is freaking great, right? The team is great.
He's not a Heisman candidate. It's the same way Ohio State, or it's the same way previous years, the quarterback has never been in the conversation. He has the tools around him to just go here or here. It's never I have to make a play myself kind of thing.
And let me rephrase what I said though. He's not mid. He hasn't been playing outstanding Heisman level football. He has been playing the best quarterback that Ohio State needs right now, which is a guy to make the good throws on third down, to make the easy passes to Jeremiah or to the wide receiver, hand it off to my running back, let my defense absolutely destroy people. He's doing Sayan's Heisman is next year.
Yeah.
This year, he just needs to play within the offense, because if he starts doing too much, that's when it could get scary. But I retract my mid statement. I stand by him not being in the Heisman. The one that hurts you, BYU 26-14 over your Cincinnati Bearcats.
It was Rutgers.
First of all, your top two, your 3 and 4 are like 1 and 2 for
my top two.
Wow, damn it. That's my guy. Ray's got to keep us level on our Buckeyes hate, and that's why.
Yeah, I mean, listen, this team lives and dies by its offense. I talked about it. No, it's not his fault. It's just why he's not the Heisman. Anyways, and I will say this actually was 20-14, like with 30 seconds left, and then they had a big breakaway touchdown. And this defense holding a BYU team to 20 points is really, really good. It's the best I've seen this defense all year. The issue is the offense has tremendously slowed down these past 3 weeks. And I wouldn't say we got figured out. I think we're playing better opponents. We're playing better defenses. And you saw the limitation that this team has. The blocking that was so good in the beginning of the year kind of not fell apart, but wasn't as amazing as it was. Evan Pryor was out the past 2 games and was here this week, and you saw the difference, but we still limited his snap count because of the injury, and so the explosiveness wasn't always there. And also, the receiving core just isn't great. And so, listen, a great performance by this defense. The offense was coming around. It was just too little, too late. All credit to BYU. It is what it is. The offense wasn't great, so we didn't play great.
Your second half schedule is brutal.
It was. I think it was 15th after week 10 or something like that.
It's absolutely brutal.
But you got to win if you're a true contender. You got to win those games.
Yes.
And so it's hard, but you got to beat them.
You've kind of been figured it out. You kind of have been figured out. I think the scarier part is that stat that you brought up yourself about Satterfield's record in the second half of the year. Something isn't right here. To be consistently this bad in the second half of the year tells me, like I said when you said it, either you're wearing players out or your recruiting isn't deep enough.
So I think I will say I looked at it and I think that's a little skewed because his first year we were just bad. It was 3-9. We were terrible. The second year, all those losses were conference losses, and like it was literally just all conference. And then this year, the only losses were to top 25 teams.
Right, true, that is the key.
It's not like we're losing to bad teams in the second half of the year this year. It's just the good teams. And while I will say it does concern me a little bit, the progression year to year of being able to kind of win more and more, I think makes me more hopeful than pessimistic into next year, because maybe we can make that next step. But time will tell. Listen, I know this year is technically over for us. We still have TCU and then a bowl game to potentially see. And then we just got to see what happens next year. It was a great season. It beat my expectations.
There are parents of Cincinnati Bearcat football players that will not be as excited for that bowl game as you will be. Because that's just how you are, my guy. I love you. All right, we'll keep it rolling. Utah, 51-47 over Kansas State. Man, what? Okay. Like Utah,
This is
you hanging on by a thread.
This is a Big 12 result, man. Because
Yeah.
listen, Kansas State, yes, is a 500 team, but listen, this happens all the time in college football. Utah think that they're at home, they're at night, they're going, oh, it's Kansas State, whatever, and then Kansas State comes out firing, and they have to come back. But listen, that Utah team clicked it into a third gear when they realized they were down, and absolutely came back and stormed back. And not only did this save their season, this also showed that at will this Utah team can score. And so as long as the defense comes back and starts playing with their hair on fire like they have the past couple of weeks, I have no doubts about this offense.
When we are done with the top 25, I'm going to read you the FanDuel odds for Heisman. Ray, I want you to stay locked in for that part. This is a Pac-12 game. I don't believe in Utah, and this is why. And the committee doesn't believe in you. That's why, depending on some results that could happen this week, you will be jumped. Period. End of story.
Sure.
Because the committee doesn't believe in you. Number 13, Miami, 34-17 over Virginia Tech. That was a scary game for about 2 quarters before they did finally. Miami took control of the game and handled their business.
Yeah, but hey, Virginia Tech, I would say, James Franklin was in the building. That team was playing its heart out to show, hey, like those players saying, hey, please don't tell me to transfer out. Mm-hmm. And so, listen, Virginia Tech always gets up for those kind of games, but Miami professional performance, played all 4 quarters, a good job. They were always in the lead. It was never they were losing and had to come back. So it was a good result for them. Took care of business in the end.
Moving on, Vanderbilt 45-17 over Kentucky. This Vanderbilt offense is rolling again.
Might be too little too late, if I'm being honest.
Probably Diego Pavia. Diego Pavia played very, very well. You know what? Stick around, Dan, because we're gonna talk. Daniel, stick around.
They got a big game this week.
We're gonna talk about your Pitt Panthers. I'm not gonna hate on them anymore. I'll let you slide. But Vandy running out of chances is exactly the same thing. They need some results ahead of them to go.
Yeah.
But unlike Utah, those results go their way. I don't think the committee is going to be like, no, we don't really trust Vanderbilt. I would be okay with Vanderbilt rising depending on how some results go. We talked about, go ahead.
I was just going to say the issue is you have a lot of teams in front of them that can easily make a case above Vandy. And I think that's the issue. Miami, obviously, with the winner. BYU, if they keep winning, you know what I mean? That's just, it is what it is. And you're not going to take that Texas Tech team out. And then Utah, it depends on kind of what happens there. So it's possible for Vandy. It's not like I would say anyone below 15 is absolutely out of it unless it's a auto bid. But if Vandy has a chance, it's just they're like, a lot of things got to go their way.
I'm so glad you said number 15 because when we get to this week's rankings, that's going to mean something. We talked about USC, Georgia Tech, 42-28 losers to Daniel's Pitt Panthers.
I talked about this Pitt team, man.
Narducci said it. The Notre Dame game didn't matter. It's these 2 that count, and they got the first one down.
The issue is, yeah, and listen, Pitt, they have a much harder opponent next week, but this is why the committee ranked Georgia Tech so low. Because listen, I'll give all credit in the world to this Pitt team because I think they look great. Maybe not in the CFP great unless they win the ACC, but they're a solid football team. Georgia Tech was banking on the wins of a very weak schedule, and now is getting to the part where they're playing good teams, and you can see that they weren't ready for that dogfight that a team like Pitt can give them, and that's exactly what Pitt did. And all credit in the world to this Pitt team because they look solid.
Cincinnati has hit a tough stretch. Georgia Tech's been figured out.
Yes.
Georgia Tech has been figured out. We got you. We know the game plan. We know what Haynes King and these guys can do. We're done. We figured it out. So yeah. Georgia Tech, see you later. They'll have an opportunity. We'll talk about it this week to, make a huge statement and try to make a last grasp for a spot. But Time is fading very, very, very fast for Georgia Tech. Texas, 52-37 over Arkansas. Okay.
I will say there was the USF head coach is strongly linked to Arkansas, and that's a USF team that's been playing pretty well the past couple years. So that's the only thing I have to say about this game. And Arch looked good. I will say Arch looked good.
I would actually really like that. I'd rather talk about that. I really like that hire actually. If they were able to pull that off. But yeah, cool, Texas. Congratulations. I really don't care. Michigan, a team that we were going to talk a whole lot about this week. 45-20 over Maryland. You did your job. Quarterback looked really good this week. That's all you could ask for.
Nope. That is a win that should have been that win, and they did what they needed to do.
Absolutely. Virginia was off this week. Tennessee. Ooh. Hold on. Straub hot take. Is Arch Manning overrated, underrated, or properly hyped? Go ahead.
I would say beginning of the season, overrated. Now, I think because anytime Arch does something good, I think like ESPN and the media just shovel it that people think he's still overrated. But I think the general consensus of the public, I think it's properly where he's raw. He's still very raw and needs to have another couple years to develop. I think it's just the constant shoveling of his stuff that people think he's still overrated.
My hot take is I hate doing this with college kids because they're inconsistent, because they're freaking 18 years old or 19 years old. These are kids still. Yeah, he was overhyped at the beginning. I bought into the hype. Okay, right here. It's hooked, line and sinker. Boom, I was in. The play itself, for me, stands where it is. He has been an average quarterback this year. Yeah. However, that raw talent that we talk about, the stuff that got Anthony Richardson drafted, Caleb Williams drafted, the talent is there. The kid needs time to develop, and I'm going to stand on this. The Mannings give 0 Fs about a Heisman. They want a 15-year NFL career out of Arch Manning, and they will slow roll this process as long as they need to make that happen because they don't care about this. So if they don't care about this, I can only care so much.
I absolutely agree with you, and I think Nate does too. So
of course, Cuzzo. Of course. Drew's favorite team in the world, the Tennessee Volunteers, 31, almost said 35, 31-11 over Florida.
I'm okay with them being in it now because there's multiple 3-loss teams. It's just when it came out, there was one 3-loss team in there, and it was them. But it's also Florida, and they're weird and awful at the same time. And so a good win, but also doesn't impress me. But also I'm okay with you being there now.
That's okay because I like the next one better. Illinois. Losers 27-10 to Drew's favorite Wisconsin.
Oh, you know what? One, Illinois, such a weird team this year. Like anytime honestly, I can't even say weird because anytime they come up against a defense that's slightly good, they just completely collapse. They did against Indiana. They did it in their second loss now against Wisconsin. But hey, props to Wisconsin. The offense actually got rolling and the defense played well. Just enough wins to get that hype train back a-rolling for another 4-8 season next year.
I love you so much. I missed you Thursday. We talked about Missouri. Houston, 17-14 losers over TCU. Pac-12. Big 12, baby.
Yeah, well, it's also a Houston team that is very just up and down. They have their highs where when they get up, they're great, but then they just don't have the consistency to continually win tough games in the Big 12. And so great season for them. But yeah, I think there was a couple results that went, man, if that would have just gone your way, or you would have been more consistent of a team this year, they would have been in a much bigger hunt in the Big 12. That team stays together next year. They don't lose key pieces. They're one of my favorites in the Big 12. Because there's a lot of talent on that team that just needs to have a couple years together.
TCU?
TCU's a team that just beats teams because their coach is really good, but they don't have a lot of talent.
That Houston team is just too inconsistent. I know. I agree.
That's what I'm saying. They just need a year to just kind of gel and come together.
Yeah, but Houston's been inconsistent for 20 years. So,
they have been this good, though.
Yeah, you're right. Tulane, 37-13 over Temple.
It's Temple. It's
cool.
Temple.
Like, yeah, I don't care about you. Arizona State, 42-17 winners over Colorado. Oh man,
it's not looking good over there.
No, and Dion spending time at Brown Stadium or in Vegas, cheering on Shador. I don't know. I'm all in on Coach Prime, but I don't know what's going on. We need to reset and we need to go into next year.
Yep, I agree. I think this offseason will be very telling on kind of what the outlook of this team will be.
Absolutely. All right. We get through our top 25. We know what time it is. It's time for the best quarterback segment in the damn country, and I stand on that because nobody works harder on it than this guy right here. It's time for Drew's Quarterback Watch.
Yes, and like I said, I would talk about it later. You will see that not a single quarterback that played a crappy team and with an SEC school is on this. There are 2 SEC schools on here, Texas and Vandy, but they actually had legit games this week, and so I'm not going to punish them. But nobody else that played Charlotte will be on this week. All right, we're going to get into it, though. Diego Pavia, amazing game this week, 484 yards, 5 touchdowns. I usually don't include quarterbacks that had interceptions, but that's way too good of a stat to pass up on. Great there. Drew Mestamaker, that North Texas team is looking absolutely phenomenal, 469 yards and 3 touchdowns. I do believe North Texas head coach just accepted the job at Colorado State, and so we will see what happens there. Very weird kind of up, like group of 5 to group of 5, but I would say it is a better position because you win with that Colorado State team. You might make the CFP as the best group of 5 team, but anyways, this North Texas offense continues to hum. I think the first time I've included Dylan Lonergan on here from Boston College, just because Boston College hasn't had a great year, but had a great day, 446 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. So big ups to Boston College there for once. Arch Manning, second time on the quarterback watch, absolutely a great performance. 389 passing yards and 4 touchdowns against Arkansas. That usually is pretty good defensively, so I'll give him there. And he also looked good when I actually watched the game. So good one there. Ken, we got a Kennesaw State quarterback on the list. Amari Odom, 387 passing yards and 5 touchdowns. Great performance, by the way.
I was high on that Kennesaw State team last year because when they switched over and moved up into Power 5 football, they had brought over, I think it was over 88% of their roster. It was a crazy amount, and they didn't play well last year. I'm glad that we've started to turn the tide a little bit this year.
Absolutely, and the offense is there. I think it's the defense that's the problem.
Dude, the name here. Oh my God.
I was gonna say we have another amazing name, Goose Crowder from Troy.
Goose.
361 yards and 4 touchdowns. I am also going to, by the way, we're going to have the Gunslinger Award at the end of the season. I'm also going to have the best names that we've had on this list also as well, because you can't pass that up.
I get in on that one, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And finally, he's been on this list before, Byron Brown for USF, 353 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Listen, the USF team kind of stumbled at the end, but a great team nonetheless, and I think deserving some shout out because I think that's just a really good team that if they didn't have such a brutal schedule at the beginning of the year with their Power 5 teams, would only have 1 or 2 losses and would be in that CFP discussion. But shout out to these guys. And the first one coming off a big leg to these and all the quarterbacks that have been and will be on this list. Amazing performances by these guys. I've watched almost all of them. I don't know if I've said this. Everyone that on this list, I have watched them play except for maybe 5 or 6. And I add about 5 or 6 every week. And so big up to these guys. They kill it. I make sure that I put guys on the list I think deserve it, even if the stats aren't there. And so shout out to these guys. They deserve a big leg. And I don't want to say it yet, but the guy who's going to get the Gunslinger Award should deserve this too. But I'm gonna wait on that I'm gonna say this now. The week of the Army-Navy game, because if we're being completely honest, no one's winning the Gunslinger Award from the Army-Navy game.
Hey,
I will announce the Gunslinger Award winner during the Army-Navy week. Big ups to them.
absolutely. And if you don't think we're covering the Army-Navy game, then you don't know these roles right here. Well, I wish I could say that the success that I put into Big Bros, Big Bets pays off in the way that your quarterback watch does. But ladies and gentlemen, we may have had the worst week that we have ever had.
Oh,
we went 3-3 on our
Yikes.
locks. Yeah, we went 3-3 on our locks, which is not terrible. But unfortunately, for only the second week all year, none of our upsets hit. And that one hurt.
that hurts. It's
Oklahoma
'cause I wasn't here.
Yeah, Oklahoma -7.5 of Missouri. Your James Madison struggle bust.
They pulled it out.
But struggle bust with Washington State. UConn struggle bust with Florida Atlantic. Kentucky and Vanderbilt, appreciate you. Vandy almost did it themselves. Duke, North Carolina, I told you. I said somebody scored some points here. They took care of that for me. Nebraska, I hate you so much.
I don't know. You said you were done with them, and you put them back on the list. I don't know what happened there.
I know. Because I'm an idiot. Okay.
Also,
Nebraska,
to hear, by the way, reports Nebraska is getting ready for Dylan Raiola to transfer at the end of the year. By the way, so that's going to be interesting there. His brother just put in a transfer request because he was at Nebraska or decommitted or something like that. Dylan Raiola transferring. Don't know where he's going to transfer. I don't know. Some team that is going to believe in the hype, but going to put that out there.
Good luck, Dylan. I mean, Nebraska gave you everything you wanted. I mean, I know it's not the most talented roster, but one of these big schools is going to snatch him up just because of the talent there. Upset-wise, Louisville did not come through for us. Obviously, Nebraska crapped the bed. Michigan State, no thank you. Air Force got beat up. San Jose State got blown out. And Virginia Tech, I tried that one, and yeah, it didn't come through for me either.
That's okay. It happens.
We're back this week though, so don't you sweat it. And it's
100%.
not. You don't even have to wait,
100%.
but a couple minutes, and we'll get right to it. All right, Drew. We want to take a break, or do we want to go right into the NFL?
Let's go to the NFL.
All right, let's go. Let's jump right into the NFL. We can run through this somewhat quickly on some of these and get to the ones that were important. We did have a bit of an upset there on Thursday night. The Bills continue to just be confusing as they lost 23-19 to the Texans.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I wanted to talk about this, but Texas, the Texans can get up, and they were at home in the Dome. I thought this was going to be a much higher scoring game just because they're in the Dome. But again, yeah, Bills offense just for some reason can put up 40 and then puts up 14. I don't know. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Texas defense is pretty good, but this Bills offense should be more than capable of putting up about 30 on them just because of how good the Bills offense should be and can be in certain weeks. So, and also, like I said, no snow, no weather to affect them. It should have been a track meet, but yeah, it just both teams seem to just kind of wear each other out, and the Texans came through on that.
That's key though. If the Texans were able to pull this out somehow and continue to win and find themselves in the playoffs, their defense is legit. And if CJ Stroud's for a day, they're gonna win. They're gonna win a playoff game. It is literally, And then the Bills, they signed Brandon Cooks.
Honestly, if we're being honest, like, listen, I know Brandon Cooks isn't as well. He was never amazing, but he was pretty solid. He's not as good as he once was. But man, listen, you get Brandon Cooks just to run like in routes and flats just to get 5-6 yards, dude. That's probably honestly what they need because they don't really have an inside guy to just dump off the ball to.
Which is weird that we're talking about that team needing help, but that's what happens when you don't have any money. Bears 31-28 over those mid-ass Steelers. Do you believe in my Bears yet?
I don't know. because they keep winning these like one-score games, and so my brain keeps saying inevitably when they come up against a team that actually is going to challenge them, they're going to fold. And I think that's coming up because I think like the rest of the season is absolutely awful for them. So we'll get to see what this true Bears team is. But listen, we've said it before. This Bears team is doing what they haven't done. It's win the games they should be winning, and I think that's all they can ask for right now. Ben Johnson is doing an amazing job at doing that, and they haven't done that forever. So big ups to them for now, but we'll see.
Ben Johnson, your coach of the year?
Oh, yeah. That's tough because I think the Patriots definitely have a run for that.
Yeah.
Vrabel, I love Vrabel too.
Yeah, both of them. Here we go. Against Mason Rudolph with Porter Jr. getting injured halfway. Your team is mid with Aaron Rodgers. You've lost to these teams with Aaron Rodgers. This team is mid.
I will say, though, Aaron Rodgers has Chicago's number, and so maybe it was different.
True.
So yeah, that's the only thing I'll give them.
I will give you that he owns the Bears. Period. End of story. Patriots, speaking of which, 26-20 winners over the Bengals. This Bengals team is so damn weird. They're going to get Joe Burrow back. We're going to talk about that, but Patriots just continue to win.
No, yeah, listen, and this is a game where all the other teams in this league probably would have lost, and we would have been like, well, we don't know who they are, because the Bills would have probably lost this game. The Chargers would have probably lost this game. All those teams that were like, we don't know who they are, would have lost this game. And the fact that the Patriots didn't, they avoided that game where the Bengals defense actually looked competent for once this season. Good for honestly, this means more for the Patriots because now you're saying we got through that weird loss that we could have had. And listen, I'm not giving Bengals any credit here because their defense is still atrocious and they have nothing to play for now. But it's still the fact that they were able to pull this off with the Bengals looking at their best.
Right. And the Bengals have those weird games where they do all of a sudden play well. They just haven't done it
against Pittsburgh at the night game.
Absolutely. Packers 23-6 over the Vikings. Whatever, dude. I don't. What? Oh, I'm sorry.
34.
Yeah, Lions 34-27 winners over the Giants in a game in which they had to come back down 27-20 at some point and beat these Giants, the Jameis Winston Giants.
It's the Jameis Winston experience, baby. He's either going to go off and you're going to be like, he looks like the best quarterback in the league, or he's going to go throw 3 interceptions. You're like, how does this man have a job in the NFL? And it was just one of those days where Jameis was on. And good big ups for Detroit because that's a game that a lot of teams lose when Jameis is locked in.
Yeah.
the one game, he's like Ryan Fitzpatrick. He has 1 or 2 games a year where you're like, this dude looks amazing. And then the next week, you're like, there it is. There he is.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Jeremiah Gibbs, like, this dude is amazing. And I think he now leads the NFL. He's got like the 3 fastest touchdowns speed-wise in the NFL too. It is amazing. This Lions offense, especially at home, is just crazy. So they did have to beat the Giants, but this is the same thing as the Patriots. You know, this is not college, okay? Where every team has only 2 or 3 losses. You are going to lose some games in the NFL that you absolutely should not lose, and these are the games you have to come back. So I'm happy to see the Lions do that. We talked about it. I'm giving no love to this game or Jordan Love. Packers 23-6 over the Vikings. I don't care.
Yeah, no, the Vikings offense is just abysmal right now, and the defense is okay, but when you can't hold onto the ball as an offense, it goes. Listen, I'm coming from a Browns fan. Your offense can't hold onto the ball. Your defense can only do so much.
And I'm gonna, yes. First of all, you're 100% right. I already want to move on. I'm sorry. To Daniel's point, Gibbs is best running back in the league, second to JT, Jonathan Taylor. I agree with that. If I'm starting a team, I'm taking Gibbs over Jonathan Taylor because he is the total package. He can run from scrimmage. I can throw him screen passes. I can send him out as a wide receiver. I can do everything with him. I will take Jonathan Taylor absolutely with the second pick without being upset, but I want Gibbs.
The thing is, and the reason why I put Jonathan Taylor right now over Gibbs is I would like to see Gibbs without the change of pace back that Montgomery is, because Montgomery is very, very good in his own right. And if it was just Gibbs back there, what would we see? And I'm sure it would be amazing. And if he keeps the stats, I would put him over Jonathan Taylor. But the fact Jonathan Taylor has nobody behind him and it's just him, he's putting up those numbers. That's the edge that I give him over Gibbs.
He's got Daddy Dimes, baby.
Yeah, pulling it and running awkwardly for 5 yards. Absolutely.
And yes, Nady, I love you to death, cuzzo. We got all the Notre Dame love together, but there's no love.
Haterade.
Yeah,
haterade.
Absolute haterade. Seahawks. The concerning point is that you gave up 24 points to the Titans.
No, absolutely. I think, but we talked about it with Detroit and we talked about it with the Patriots. You're gonna have these games where, listen, that Titans defense is no joke. I'll give them that. That like the defense is really good. The offense just struggles. The offense was on today. It's same way with the Bengals defense finally showing up. That's what it is. And the fact they got a win and were able to avoid that loss shows, okay, you're good. Let's move on.
I agree. And we'll move on. The Chiefs 23-20 with a late field goal, a game-winning field goal over the Colts. I just had a flash in power, so if I get dumped off here, okay, nope, everybody will know why. Are we ready to actually believe that the Colts might be real, or does this just prove what we've known, and that is when this Colts team plays somebody actually good, they're going to lose?
I think it's the other way around. Ooh. I have always been skeptical of this Colts team just because, like you said, when they've played good opponents, they've started to stumble and fall. The fact that the Chiefs had to get a game-winning field goal to beat them, I think shows that this Chiefs team is not nearly as good. And even though when the playoffs come, they might show up, this is the worst we've seen this Chiefs team look. And I don't think a magical playoff run is in the cards for a team that consistently is playing lackluster football for 3 quarters and then finally turns on at the end, because there's going to be teams like the Patriots, like the Bills, like Detroit, if they make the Super Bowl, that are not going to hold on to that, make it close enough for 3 quarters for the Chiefs to do anything. And I think that's the biggest issue. And I don't think it's the Colts that we need to talk about. And we have to talk about the Chiefs, because I think it's more about the Chiefs being average than the Colts being worse than the record says.
The scary thing, though, is when you get to these playoffs, it comes down to which quarterback is going to step up and make the play. And right now, even in the AFC, if you lined all of those quarterbacks up and told me, hey, there's 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, who you giving the ball to? Patrick Mahomes. Period. End of story. I'm giving it to Mahomes. I don't care if he's throwing to the corpse of Travis Kelce and Rashee Rice and whoever. A bunch of guys that I put in parlays every week that I can't remember.
Really?
Yeah, Hollywood Brown. Like, just throwing to nobodies. I don't care. I'm still taking Mahomes. So the Chiefs, though, the problem for them now is they're chasing these wins. They're chasing their way back in
the wins.
Absolutely. Ravens.
Whatever. It's the Jets. Moving on.
Full screen me, baby. Full screen me, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns, 24-10 over the Oakland Raiders. How do you like me now? How do you like me now?
I may get a lot of flack for this, probably from you. Listen, was that a miles better performance than last week, and probably due to having a full week with the playbook and also looking more exciting than Dylan Gabriel has looked his entire time starting for the Browns? Yes, absolutely. Do I also agree that Shedeur should start the rest of the season? Yes, absolutely.
And he is.
Most likely. He's starting next week. We'll see what happens. However, do I think that there needs to be a lot of improvement to win over to win over me as to saying, he needs to be, or he should be the starter next season? Absolutely. Because one, the stat line wasn't that great. He had a really good throw, but then the rest was kind of dink and dunks. And then it was also against a really bad Raiders team. So did he do his job? Yes. However, there was a lot of negative in between. That interception was not great.
That
and there was a lot.
Though, that throw on the run that even Myles Garrett was like, what?
That shows the potential that I think exceeds him over Dylan Gabriel, because I think Dylan Gabriel's ceiling is very, very low, and I think he's almost reached it, where Shedor's is much, much higher. However, the floor for him right now is much, much lower than Gabriel's, just because of the decision making. And so I think these next games are going to be very beneficial for him. However, like I said with Gabriel, I need to see growth. I need to see progress from this week to the next week for me to truly say, maybe we don't go for a quarterback in the first round. Maybe we go for somebody else in the first round of the draft. But that's not sold for me right now. It's progress. It's exciting. It is a glimmer of hope that we haven't had since the beginning of the season. But I need to see more. I need to see more against better teams. And he's going to have an opportunity this week. So that's all.
Woo! Hot take time. Is he a better long-term option than Baker?
Pre-injury, I would have said no. Now that he has a second injury on that shoulder, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree there. I love Baker. Okay, I think Baker could have been a franchise quarterback. So now we have to hope that he comes back and he's still good. But long term, listen, I've believed in this kid since Colorado because the talent is there.
I absolutely agree. I need to see more. I need to see more in these next couple games for me to say do that, because if in game 17 he's still making those mistakes and those interceptions that he did this past week and the week before, I gotta say, is he truly going to learn from those mistakes, or is he going to make those next year and we're going, oh my God, we didn't get any of these quarterbacks?
Man, let that kid cook. Please let that kid cook. The team loves him. That's what I saw on Sunday. That was the most impressive thing to me watching that game. That team rallied behind him. That defense rallied behind him. And I'm sorry. I know in basketball, if LeBron or KD or Ja or Shai is standing there watching one of the 12th man hit threes and they're going wild and they're going weak, this kid's got to play, this kid's got to start, he's going to do it because it's a smaller rotation. One guy can change the impact. I know on a football field that you need 20, you need 30, 40, 50, you need the whole 50-man roster to win a Super Bowl. When your franchise player, when the guy that you paid all that money to, who is going to break the NFL record in sacks, he already broke your record and he's going to break the NFL's record. When that guy is excited, damn it, you pay attention. And I agree with this. The quarterback has to be a leader. It doesn't listen, Shedor, for all of the crap that Shedor gets, Shedor ain't really a rah-rah guy.
No.
Deion's the rah-rah guy and brought the rah-rah to Colorado, and everybody just assumed, oh, this is what Shedor's like. No, man. Shedor wants to be Tom Brady. That's who he works with. That's who he's modeled himself after. That's not how Tom did it. Tom talked on the field a little bit, but he wasn't rah-rah everywhere else. That's what Shedor does, man. He comes in with a nice confidence. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to put my wrist up. I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to go away. I love it. I'm here for it. I know it is. Yes, thank you.
But you know what that reminds me of? Jameis Winston. That reminds me of Jameis. QBs throw a pick. It happens. Yes, but you need to show growth. You need to show that you are learning from those interceptions and going, okay, I see what I did wrong, and this is what I got to do from now on. Because listen, Jameis has the energy and Jameis has the talent, but there's no learning. He still makes the exact same mistakes he's made since his rookie year. And that's where you need to make that progression become a starter.
I also think it's unfair to compare a kid with one start to an NFL journeyman. Like,
absolutely.
And from here's what
that's what these next starts are going to prove to me.
Now, I agree. I did not see enough yet out of Shedeur that tells me I'm avoiding quarterbacks in the draft and I'm building completely around this kid. But what I saw is that Dillon Gabriel shouldn't put on a Browns helmet as a starting quarterback again.
I absolutely agree with you.
That's it.
You saw where Shedeur can be, and it's much higher than where Gabriel can be.
And that's the thing. Dillon Gabriel is a safer place because the ceiling is less. The ceiling is low or is higher, but he cannot reach what Shedeur has the ability and the capability of to be able to do. Let's not forget, in the Heisman race last year, Shedeur was right up there with Dillon Gabriel and Ashton Genty and Travis Hunter before Travis Hunter and Ashton Genty accelerated themselves, and we started putting all of those Colorado losses on Shedeur and not Travis Hunter. So let's not pretend either like Shedeur was in college being a bum either.
No, I agree.
I agree with this. Yeah, Dillon Gabriel is going to be a career backup third stringer for the rest of his life.
On a good team, when they go, shoot, our star quarterback just went down, but we have an amazing offense. Here, throw Dillon Gabriel in just to dink and dunk with amazing receivers, because he can do that. The issue with the offense isn't there for Gabriel to just dink and dunk. There needs to be a quarterback that needs to make plays because of the lack of offensive talent, and that's where Shedeur succeeds right now.
100%. 100%. Right. Let's get back up on the graphic.
Because you need to rant for 30 minutes now, too. But first, neither team good in the 27-24, but hey, that just proves that Jacksonville is keeping in the playoff hunt. So while we don't think that they're a legit team, they're doing what they need to do right now. Yeah, no words for that, I know. Ken, 24-21, Dallas over Eagles, the largest comeback in Dallas history against your rival, against a team that you have called awful all year. Ken, I don't know whether to feel happy for you because of this win or upset that you didn't get to eat your words all season. Anyways, it doesn't matter what I feel. How do you feel?
The full screen. The only thing, because listen, the high I was on Saturday from this Notre Dame game was unreal. Okay. Because we answered the crap talk with the biggest historic beatdown ever. And then my boys erased the biggest deficit in Cowboys history to beat the NFL team that I hate the most with a passion. Oh, do you want me to put the song on now? Because we them boys. Okay. I told you this team was mid. I told you this team wasn't good, and all it took was a team to put an offensive game plan together. We had some help with some fumbles late there, but the defense has played great lately.
That was a great performance by your defense, by the way. So the best I think I've seen from you.
Yes. This is a different defense now. We don't got Micah Parsons out there calling his own number anymore. We stay in the scheme. We take care of business, and I'll tell you this, and I'll ask the question, hot take. When the offense is rolling, okay, give me every offense in the NFL. When it is rolling, mine is top 2 to 3.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with you. And listen, great win. Give you all the credit in the world. I think you definitely.
And Dak was clutch.
And listen, Dak looked amazing there. I think it's a great win. Absolutely. One, the issue is you dug yourself a massive hole in the beginning of the season.
I know.
And if you can rattle off these wins and get yourself into there, maybe you still need some help. However, the building blocks are there. The offense, if you can keep that offense intact and not even touch it, literally, I would just say, don't even touch it. Don't even add anything. Keep everyone there. I think I'm hearing Pickens is going to be franchise tag. So absolutely there.
There it is.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And listen, the defense is coming around. You need a couple pieces. You need a corner that can lock down a receiver, and you need just a linebacker that can tackle everyone. And then you're good. And that's a team that I would bank on to make the playoffs next year.
And the best part about this one for me is we lose these games at home.
Yeah.
We'll win them on the road. We lose these games at home. So to actually get this one at home too, Brandon Aubrey, clutch as it gets.
Just gonna rattle through the first or the last three games. Atlanta 24-10, 34-7, Rams over a Baker Mayfield hurt Bucks, and then 20-9, Frisco over Carolina. Ken, scarier team for you, Rams or 49ers since they're officially becoming healthy?
I'm still gonna take the Rams because that offense can just turn up. And Kyron Williams hasn't even really been unleashed yet this year. And he still hasn't. With Devontae and I'm sorry. I like the San Francisco. Actually, I don't like the San Francisco team. Let me not fake that part.
I like them.
I know. I know they have Christian McCaffrey. I don't know if they have enough weeks left to actually start to really carry and keep that momentum where LA's rolling. Matthew Stafford, MVP candidate.
No, I absolutely agree with you there.
Also, and then I have beef with Monday Night Football. I get that it was the anniversary of Freddie Mercury passing away. Okay, one of the greatest rock stars that has ever graced the planet Earth. But the forcing of Bohemian Rhapsody all the way from countdown up and through the game was just utterly ridiculous, and it was stupid as hell. Sorry.
Fair enough. It needs to be in better taste. I get you there.
And there's other Queen songs, like dear Lord. But yeah.
We already read that.
Yeah, we did get to that. Okay. All right.
Right.
Are we gonna run? Yeah, we'll run through our EPL. Quick. We're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna get ready for this weekend and week.
Yes. And listen, honestly, we can run this one in 5 minutes. Three results that I would say two of them very standard. Chelsea 2-0 win over Burnley, good win there. And Arsenal 4-1 drubbing over Tottenham just shows the class of this Arsenal team. But a result that I would say hurts, but it's a growing process because this Everton team is very, very compact and very, very well structured. But that's obviously Ken has more to talk about that. Ken, Everton 1, United 0. What are your thoughts?
Garbage. You lost to an Everton team, and there's going to be a lot of full screen today. You lost to an Everton team that was down to 10 men because their own players were smacking each other on the field. There was a red card given to Mark Gurley because he slapped his teammate. His teammate pushed him first, but he slapped his teammate. He was given a red card. And then we gave up a goal and lost 1-0. That is atrocious. That is awful. And to do it at Old Trafford is a step back. Ruben Amorim has already come out and called out the squad and said they have to respond. They have to respond to this, or we are going to go back to next year. He said it with a lot more words in a pretty Portuguese accent, but that's basically what he said. Get it together, or we're going to be right back to where the hell we were last year, closer to relegation than we are to Europe. Bullshit performance. That's what Fair. I got to say about that.
Fair. And listen, I will, because I'm not a fan. I'll cut the team some slack. Listen, Straub, Chelsea struggled with compact teams that sit back, and so one going down to 10 men, and then you going down to a team that can easily and knows exactly how to sit back. It's tough to break down. I'll give them that. However, yes, if you are truly going to turn this around and not repeat the same things as last year, there needs to be hey, this is what they're going to do. We need to change our plan. This is what we need to do to break them down. And it's a process. It's a growing process. It's just give them some grace.
A 1-1, a draw. This is what I said on Thursday. Anything other than a point was not acceptable out of this game. So I gotta call it what I said I was gonna call it, which was unacceptable. And I know Ray calling you out in the comments was really funny, people. I don't want to derail soccer.
Yes, no, it was more of like the Baker injured like after the fact. I did not mean. Listen, the Rams are a great team, and the Bucks are struggling right now. That's a completely separate scenario. I just said that because now the future, the Bucks may not have Baker for a week or two.
So yes, like I said, a point,
completely correct.
A point, a 1-1 draw, even a 0-0 draw. I would have been like, okay, let me take a second. I can deal with this. But no, to go out and lose to that Everton team down 10 men and you can't get a point. No, I can't rock with that. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Mom is in the house. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Love you, Mom. And yes, that's Ray. Ray conceded. All right. Woo. Let's take a break. We're gonna run a commercial, and then when we come back, we're gonna reset and we're gonna get into Thursday and we're gonna get into the rest of the week.
Ken Straub here for Schmoopy Sweets and Treats, the official bakery of the Straub Bros Sports Show. And I'm also here with
Stella
and
Landon Straub.
And boys, do we have a lot to tell everyone about today. Schmoopy's is your go-to for all your bakery needs. Gluten and dairy-free options for muffins, cheesecakes, rolls, breads, cupcakes, cake pops, pies, cakes, you name it, it's there. And boys, what do we think?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Me too, boys. So, if you need anything, especially in this fall time, make sure you get in your orders for pies and pumpkin rolls and cinnamon rolls. Place your order now at
Smoopy's Sweets and Treats.
All right. We are back in, hats adjusted, took a breather, relax. Not going to try to yell anymore. I bet your ears, you got me snorting. I bet your ears do hurt with that big ass hat on.
It's the hat, it's the glasses, it's the, yeah.
No, I get
big
it there,
ears
bro.
regardless.
All right, let's reverse the wheels. Let's get back into our college football because it's rivalry week in college football. And baby, this is one of my favorite weeks all year. Even though I don't traditionally play my biggest rival this week, I still play one. But let's get rolling into it. Let's start with.
What we starting with?
I'm trying.
I know the graphics aren't working.
There we go. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Let's start with our Straub sneaky watchables. My mouse won't work, but the other one will. So I'm struggling here. We start on Friday. Okay, there are a lot of really great games on Friday because everybody usually has off. We got Black Friday off, so we'll start there. Arizona at ranked Arizona State. I did not put Arizona State's ranking in. It's a failure by me. I apologize.
It is 25 Arizona, 20 Arizona State.
Thank you very much. That actually should have moved over, but at the time that I did the graphics, one of those teams wasn't ranked. Sue me. Drew. This should just be a high-scoring, amazing game, no?
No, that's what I was gonna say. It doesn't mean anything in terms of that both of them are pretty much, or unless some crazy results are completely out of the Big 12 championship, out of CFP contention. It's a rival, but I think that's what makes rivalry games so good. Is regardless of that, both those teams are going to go balls to the walls, and the fact that both of them have great offenses and defenses that can give up to points, it's just going to be a fun game to watch, especially the night game too.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody knows how much I love Arizona. I'll be pulling for Arizona. I might put some ducats on Arizona. I love me some Arizona. Arizona State, they're due to lose. This is what they've done all year. They've popped up in the top 25. They've maybe won a game or two and stuck around, and then they lose and they fall back. I think this is when they lose and fall back. But another conversation that's a conversation for Tuesday. The big one here. And as I said, you can see I made this graphic before the rankings came out. Number 12, Miami, takes on number 22. Good job, bro. Pitt at Pitt. Listen, Narducci said it. The Notre Dame game didn't matter. And trust me, we showed you that it didn't. The game against Georgia Tech, the game against Miami, that was Pitt's Super Bowls. They knocked off Georgia Tech. Does this Pitt team have enough firepower? And can that quarterback stay strong? That young freshman quarterback stay strong enough in that pocket and make the plays to upset Miami and end this garbage ass talk that Miami's better than Notre Dame.
You were so high on Miami this is the beginning of the year. Now that people are talking about your Irish, you've completely flipped.
Listen, my bad.
No, but listen, this Pitt team is a solid team. They're not great. They're not world beaters, but they're solid. And that's what Miami has struggled with a lot. A team that is just going to play them for all 4 quarters, is going to make it just dirty and slow and sloppy. And listen, they're playing at Pitt. And so, listen, I'm assuming the weather is going to be similar as in Cleveland as it is in Pittsburgh. It's going to be snowy. It's going to be wet. That field, it does not take precipitation well. And so it's going to be bad. It is all the makings of this being a low-scoring, Pitt grinds it out win. However, this freshman quarterback needs to do what not a lot of freshman quarterbacks have been able to do, or young quarterbacks have been able to do against this Miami team, and avoid the pressure, avoid getting guys in your face, and avoiding making mistakes against this really good Miami defense. And that's the biggest key here. If this Pitt quarterback can take what it's given to him, can dink and dunk his way down the field, rely on his running back, rely on just his other teammates, and not do it all and make mistakes, I love this Pitt team. I'm trying it. The leg is not sitting there. It is being very just all over the place. However,
it's just hard to take you serious.
I know. Main key here is how this Pitt quarterback goes against this Miami team, because I think if he does well, I honestly love this Pitt team to make the upset here. But if this Pitt quarterback struggles, makes too many mistakes, this Miami team is going to come away with this win. But I think regardless, it's going to be a close game just because of, one, I think both these teams are really good. But two, the conditions. The conditions you get.
Bro, take the leg off.
No, we're gonna fix it. We're gonna fix it. Go on.
I'm glad you mentioned it, because that's what this comes down to. That Miami defense, for as much hate as I have given Miami the past week just because of the conversation that's been forced about our two teams, that Miami defense is no joke. Okay, I know they have given up some points, but they have given up points because their offense keeps putting them back on the field. When that defense is rested, that front four comes very quickly at you, and they hit hard. Similar to what Notre Dame was, Miami has to take Notre Dame's game plan, okay? Pressure him, force him to make mistakes. He's a young quarterback. He's going to throw you the ball. However, if that Pitt offensive line can play the game of their lives, they're going to upset this Miami team in the nasty, cold, rain, maybe snow weather that they're going to have there. And like you said, as we talk field talk on the Straub Sports Show, an absolutely atrocious field that does not, like you said, retain water very well. This could make for an ugly one, and this could make for you looking up in the third quarter, and all of a sudden Pitt's up 10-6.
Yeah. And you're going, what happened?
Exactly. Number 6, Oregon travels to Washington. Oregon, they're not heavy favorites in this game. Washington has played well. They've played tough opponents. They've played those tough opponents well. They probably, as of right now, have the best game played against Ohio State minus Texas. But that week 1 is a wash. And that's also why other games week 1 were a wash, but we won't talk about that. This Washington team is to be respected.
No, I think you're absolutely right. And I think, listen, Dan Lanning is very good at motivating his players. He's not going to let them take this game lightly. However, regardless of that while this Oregon team showed it is not fully back, but up to standard last week, it is very easily for them to fall back into previous weeks where they struggled to beat teams. And Washington, very motivated, has the talent to keep up with this Oregon team. I still like Oregon in this game regardless, but I think Washington makes this a game.
This is also a rivalry game. This is a traditional Pac-12 rivalry. A couple years ago, it was Michael Penix Jr. and Bo Nix. Both of these teams ranked, going back and forth, trading victories. Washington being able to move on and get to the national championship game where they got drubbed, but still, both of these teams know each other very well. Neither of these teams like each other. So that is, Washington is hyped up. I know Oregon, Washington doesn't jump off the tongue like, Ohio State, Michigan, and Alabama, Auburn, and whatever, but it's still, Washington is coming to play, and the fact that they could take Oregon out of this, extra motivation, because a loss to
Absolutely.
Oregon, that would dump them into the holding on for dear life and hoping other thing happens results, because this would not, it wouldn't look good at this point in the year. Another sneaky one to watch, just because of how they have played lately. LSU travels to Norman to take on number 8 Oklahoma. Why is this a watchable game? Because it's still Oklahoma having to make that SEC gauntlet.
No, absolutely. I think the one thing I think that would make me believe that LSU has a chance here is that if Garrett Nussmeier looks like the NFL quarterback that people have been saying he should be, if he turns into that, then I could see this game being really, really good and really, really close and LSU having a chance. However, he hasn't looked like that. And if he continues to not look like that against this Oklahoma defense, I think Oklahoma is going to run away with this very early in this game, just because LSU also doesn't have the defense to make this a low scoring game. I think Oklahoma should win this game easily, unless Garrett Nussmeier looks like he should and what people have saying he should look like.
Unpopular opinion alert. Shador Sanders had 10 times this season that Nussmeier's having, and he's going to be a top whatever pick.
It's all the potential. It's the build. It's the potential. It's the Sam Darnold coming out of USC kind of thing, where he didn't look great, but the build and the look was good enough to get him in that high draft pick. Teams don't look at play necessarily more than they do the build and what he can do in their system.
No, Nate, that is the most disappointing part. Is no, you do no longer get to say F Brian Kelly about LSU. Soon, somebody's going to sign him.
I will say there has been reports, one, that he was, the quote by his son, he was not allowed at the LSU senior day to walk his son out, which has not been confirmed or denied. And second, Brian Kelly has made it publicly noted that LSU has made it very hard for him to get another job in college football right now. A lot of rumors flying around with the Brian Kelly camp of everything LSU has supposedly been doing to him. No comment from LSU so far. Very interesting stuff from there. So truly don't know what to believe there, because listen, Brian Kelly has talked a lot of ish and not been able to back it up. And so we don't know if all that's true. However, I wouldn't put it past the whole state of Louisiana to be blackballing Brian Kelly out of a job.
That is so amazing. I mean, you're talking about the guy who literally took the phone call to take the LSU job while at a Notre Dame recruit's house, came back in, told the recruit everything or nothing, sold him on Notre Dame, then literally got on the plane and said that he was going to LSU. The recruit was texting guys on the plane like, hey guys, what's going on? Oh, we don't know. Nobody deserves this more than Brian Kelly. This is what happens when you burn every bridge. The problem was, no offense, the Cincinnati bridge wasn't big enough. The Notre Dame bridge is too holy to come after you. LSU don't give a F. You mess with them Tigers and they're going to bite you, and they are biting the hell out of Brian Kelly. Good for him. Last but not least, the Iron Bowl. There was zero chance that this was not making this graphic, because this is, I don't put rankings on them. There are just a couple that mean more than any other game in the country. The next one we'll talk about is on the big graphic. This one is right here. The Iron Bowl means everything to both of these teams. Number 10, Alabama, has to travel to Auburn, 7:30, ABC. Drew, this is it. This is the roadblock for Alabama. You are smooth sailing most likely into the college football playoffs, even if you lose the SEC championship game potentially. This would be it.
And I think that's all the motivation Auburn needs, because one, they're at home, which is, I think, a massive advantage to Auburn. Two, while this Auburn team has been disappointing this year, the past, I want to say, okay, obviously they beat the crap out of Mercer last week, whoever. The 4 or 5 weeks before that, even though most of them have been losses, have been one-score games. They lost in overtime to Vandy. They lost by 7 to Kentucky. They beat Arkansas by 9, and then they lost to Missouri in double overtime. This is a team that, while the record isn't great, is a team that can hang around in games, and I think that's the worst possible thing for Alabama because, as we know, for Alabama, they need leads. They need to be able to kind of waver for a quarter, and this Auburn team is going to jump on that immediately. And so, listen, this Alabama team is far from bulletproof, is far from upset-proof, and this Auburn team has all of the makings to do this. Now, will they do it? I can't tell you that because I think this is a much more 50-50 game. I think Pittsburgh has a better chance or has a more clearer path to beat Miami than Auburn does Alabama. However, I think Auburn has a better chance at beating Alabama than Pitt does Miami just because of the outside factors and because of just how electric that crowd is going to be and how much they can get into Alabama's head, especially early on in this game.
Not so. I don't even know. I think Auburn is going to do this.
I don't want to say it because it's so up in the air. Because it doesn't happen. There is zero chance that every team makes it out of rivalry week. It just doesn't happen. It's been Ohio State 4 years in a row. I'm losing track now. Yes, it is 4.
It's been Ohio State 4 years in a row. We've seen Alabama do it. We've seen Auburn do it. We've seen Oregon do it. We've seen Notre Dame do it. We have seen the team that is not supposed to lose this game. For some reason, I don't know if it's because Alabama had that shaky loss against Oklahoma and then they got to beat up on Chattanooga State or Eastern Illinois. Exactly. Just something about this Auburn team that has played pretty well. They've been in the Georgia game is what I'm looking at. If it wasn't for a touchdown called back that was a touchdown and a really bad targeting call that flipped the Georgia drive, that next drive into a touchdown, Auburn was going up 10-0 on Georgia, and Georgia was going to be absolutely crapping themselves on the sideline. I think this Auburn team has learned from that, and I truly think Alabama is in trouble this week. That's all I'm going to say.
I think they're in trouble. 1, because of Nick Saban, but 2, just because, like I said, they've looked shaky. But Auburn, the issue is it's Auburn's inability to close out games, especially these past couple weeks. And that's why I'm on the fence right now, is because, listen, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a game. But I don't know who's going to mess up. Is it going to be Alabama because of the pressure or Auburn because they can't win close football games? I don't know.
Being at home. If Alabama was at home, I would not be talking like this because that crowd would get by. But just, man, let it be 10-10. Let it be 17-17, 20-20. And that Alabama sideline is going to get real tight there down in Auburn. So I'm excited for that one. I'm not going to lie. All right. So that's your sneaky watchables. Let's get to the big dogs. 3:30 on ABC. Number 4, Georgia travels to take on number 23, Georgia Tech. Drew, it is short, sweet, and simple. Does Georgia Tech have any chance in hell of saving their season?
The issue is the past couple weeks was truly determining how I felt about this Georgia Tech team. And 2 losses and a 2-point win over Boston College truly just tells me they've either ran out of gas or just cannot compete at this level right now. And Georgia has looked better and better and better as the weeks have gone on. The only close game was a 4-point win against Florida. And listen, that's a rivalry, so I'll give it off of there. I think Georgia, it may be close to begin with, but I think Georgia pulls away at the end just because of the talent.
I don't think it's a pull away at the end. I think Georgia pulls away sometime in either the second half or early
I'm
second
thinking
half.
third quarter.
Yeah, I say early third quarter. I think Georgia starts to put the separation away and the talent wins out. I think they'll figure Kirby Smart's too smart, to pun intended, to not figure this Georgia Tech offense out and to unleash that defense on them. So I don't think this will be a close game. I think Georgia Tech can keep it close in like the first quarter, like you said, because it's rivalry game, but that's about it for me.
Nope, that's exactly true.
All right, I'm going to move out of order because I want to do two of them last, one specifically last. So I'm going to go down to the bottom right. 3:30 ESPN, number 14 Vanderbilt takes on number 19 Tennessee. Drew, Vandy needs a Hail Mary. Beating up on this Tennessee team that this committee refuses to let their love go of would be a nice victory.
No, you're absolutely right. However, this Vanderbilt team, their inability to win on the road, because they played a lot of home games in the SEC this year, and the two that they were on the road, they lost. And then also their inability to beat staples of the SEC, Texas, not staples, but like college football staples, Texas, Alabama. Tennessee is one of those staples right now. It is very possible that Vandy comes in motivated. However, on the road at Tennessee against a team that, while they know their hopes are pretty much over, would love nothing more than to show to Vanderbilt who the big dog is still in this rivalry. It's very hard for me to pick Vanderbilt here, just because they in the prove-it games to show that they are legit, they haven't been able to do that with me.
That's the problem here, and you nailed it. It's Vandy's inability to beat those traditionals. It's the Alabamas, the Tennessee. They haven't been able to clip those guys yet. This would be a hell of a one to get. The problem is, man, Knoxville's going to be absolutely just
rocking.
Rocky Top's going to be blaring. Like, Tennessee's going to be ready for this game. And if there is a single slip up by Diego Pavia, Tennessee's going to run away with this thing.
I agree. And listen, Tennessee has been very good defensively lately, and that has been Vanderbilt's kind of iffiness so far, because Vanderbilt puts drives together. They're not electric, and Tennessee can stomp those out, and then Vanderbilt becomes pretty one-dimensional and can't really do anything. So
I agree. We'll see. That's a good one. It's why it's here regardless. Top right corner. Yeah, we're saving the best for last, baby.
Of course.
Number 3, Texas A&M takes on number 16, Texas. Another game in which the higher-ranked team is not heavily favored. Does Arch Manning in Texas got one more in them?
I think that's the massive question, because A&M literally for however many weeks looked like world beaters.
Yeah.
And then they had to come back against South Carolina, and you went, wait a minute. How do we truly feel about this A&M team? And then they beat Samford 48-0, and a lot of people went, oh, okay, we're back. That meant nothing. This team is still holding on by a thread. And this Texas team, while they did get drubbed by Georgia 2 weeks ago, is still a lot better offensively than they were earlier in the season. And the defense is still really, really good. Maybe not as good as we thought they were when they first started playing Ohio State, but still really, really good. And so the biggest question is, how does A&M attack this Texas team? Because if they show up and they play like they did against South Carolina, where they're turning the ball over, they're not capitalizing when they get in the red zone, this Texas team is going to jump all over them. But if they play like A&M has been playing every other week since, and takes advantage of turnovers, capitalizes in red zone opportunities, doesn't turn the ball over, I don't think A&M has a problem. It's just how the offense looks.
When that A&M offense gets rolling, it's probably one of the most dominant in the country. Them, Ole Miss, like there's a couple stats-wise, I don't know where but here's what I know when I watch it. When that A&M offense gets rolling, they're damn near unstoppable. And that's why they rattled off 20-something unanswered points against South Carolina. The problem is Texas ain't South Carolina. You go down in a hole to that Texas team, you may not come back. Because here is the thing that I get to do, and I know the games aren't played on paper. However, if I stack the talent on that Texas team, it lines up with any team in the country. Okay? And all that Texas team needs is their young quarterback to play like he can play, and they will win this game. Not might win this game. They will win this game. The problem has been, before, when Texas has lost those games, they've played against some pretty good defenses. Texas A&M ain't got a good defense. They've got talent on the defense, but it ain't good. This Texas defense has played good in some games. They have the talent to be good. We saw it week 1, and we saw it against Oklahoma. They've got a defensive unit that can stand in there and take the ball away and stop you on third down and force punts and force turnovers. They just need something out of that offense, and they can win this game. If you're Texas A&M, there has to be a commitment to starting quick, because the longer that game goes, the more Texas thinks we have this game.
I agree. And so because of how I think the team that shows up is going to win. I think the team that is motivated is going to win. And I think that comes down to coaches. And we've talked about it. I don't trust Steve Sarkisian to get guys up and have a great game plan. I love Mike Elko in this Texas A&M team and how he gets them rolling. And that, I think, is the difference. And that's why I'm going to go A&M. Just because those two coaches, if I were to say you have the same exact team, the same exact scheme, get your team ready, I like Mike Elko over Steve Sarkisian.
It's going to take a hell of a performance, because a win against number 3 could put Texas in a spot for one of those at-large spots.
Absolutely.
A win by Texas A&M would solidify them for me as the team.
Regardless.
Yeah. So
absolutely.
All right, man, let's get to it. The game played. Ignore the time. I forgot to fix it. They did not actually do the right thing and have this game out at 8:00 on Fox.
They're always going to have it at noon, man.
It's still going to be played at noon like idiots. But number 1, Ohio State travels to the Big House to take on number 15, Michigan. Drew, it's short and simple and sweet. Has Ryan Day stopped allowing this team to read into the hype of this game? And will they just finally handle it like a regular one and go out and handle their business? Or will they allow this rivalry to get in their heads like they have for 4 years straight and allow Michigan to play a game that is tailored to Michigan style? And I'm not trying to, and Buckeye fans, none of the other games that we've talked about all year that you get credit for matter, because you've lost this one 4 years in a row, and you've lost it 4 years in a row because your coach has lost it 4 years in a row.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I think Michigan has a way, especially against Ohio State, to push teams to play the way they want to play. And Michigan's lost games because the teams have go, no. This is how we're going to play, and you're going to play it our way. And then the offense for Michigan can't keep up with the other offense. And that's how Michigan loses games. Michigan wins games because the offense goes, oh, well, this isn't working, so we have to do this 100 times. And that's how Michigan wins games. And that's how they've beaten Ohio State, is because what they do is they shut down the run game. You cannot run against this Michigan team in most years. Even this year, they're pretty great defensively. Not as good, but great against the run. And so, listen, these Ohio State running backs, I know we talk about Bo Jackson, and that running game is amazing. They're going to have not a subpar game, but not as good of a game as they've been going. Michigan is going to stop that. You have to stick with it. You have to continue to run this football. You have to not allow Julian Sayin to throw the ball 40 times, because that's how Michigan's going to beat you. You're going to, if you make Julian Sayin throw the ball 40 times, he's going to make mistakes. He's a rookie. He's a freshman quarterback. He's going to make mistakes against this defense. And that's how Michigan beats you. You need to continue with your game plan. You need to wear down that Michigan defense with the run, because when it comes fourth quarter, you're just going to be able to run the ball then because they're going to be tired. Stick with your game plan. Allow the offense to run the way it runs. You're not going to get it as easy. I'm going to try to find the comment here. Let me find it real quick. Hold on. Sorry. You're not going to get a score or first down 40%, 7% of the time against this Michigan defense. It's going to be a struggle sometimes, but you need to stick with it because your defense is going to do just fine in this game. The Michigan offense is terrible. Your defense is amazing. Michigan's going to be lucky to score offensively more than 10 points the whole game. If you stick with how the offense has ran the entire year, you're going to win it. But if you change it and try to be cute with this Michigan defense, they're going to capitalize on your mistakes and they're going to walk away with this win.
The game is trending a certain way. Michigan's first 2 wins of this 4-year streak, 21 and 22, were 42-27 and 45-23. They blew the doors off of Ohio State. This Ohio State team wasn't ready. Michigan was stacked. They had been ready, and they took care of it. 30-24 in 23, the controversial, or there was some controversy there, and then 13-10 last year in an absolute slugfest. If Ohio State doesn't win this game 35-10, I don't even want to hear from y'all next week. I don't want to hear it. This Buckeyes team is freaking stacked from top to bottom. It is one of the best. Actually, I'll crown it. It is the best roster in college football, okay? Because this Texas team hasn't lived up to it because they were right there. This is the best roster in college football playing to the best of its abilities. There is no reason. The spread is 10.5. This game shouldn't be close. I don't care about the rivalry game. And the reason I say I don't care about it this week is because this team and this coach specifically has allowed this rivalry game to take him out of his own coaching style. He has made stupid decisions in these games. He has gotten too hyped about it himself. The whole thing of me making fun of him last year about wanting to fight Lou Holtz in Ohio versus everybody was because of this corny rah-rah stuff. He has been businesslike this year. He has handled it very well. He has said all the right things. Don't screw it up this week. And I'll make fun of it because Morgan mentioned it at the very top of the comments and I commented it on Facebook. The fact that your entire campus spends the absolute amount of time that they do to cover up all the M's with your little red X's. This team is in your freaking head.
They do it. They did it when they were winning.
I it's corny. I don't care. I think it's stupid as hell, and I think it's corny. This year,
and you know what? So is patting a sign, and so is touching a rock. It's all corny. It's supposed to be corny.
But here's my thing: if Notre Dame had been doing some extra stuff every year and getting drubbed by USC, I'd be like, hey, maybe let's cut down on the rah-rah and go win the damn game. Ohio State, cut down on the Michigan rah-rah and go handle their business. I know, Ray, there's like 100,000 students. It probably took them like 15 minutes. I'm
going to say this. I hate to disagree with you, Ray. He's only thrown 4, and 2 were against Ohio, and 1 was against Grambling. The only interception he's had against and like a Big Ten opponent is Purdue. And so Julian Saint has been almost immaculate when it comes to just facilitating the game. And that's what he needs to do. He's only thrown the ball over 40 times once, and that was against Wisconsin. He doesn't need to throw the ball 40 times. He needs to just rely on his other assets. And that's what Ryan Day needs to make sure happens. Even if it's struggling at first, stick with it. Don't change your game plan.
Thank you. Like, this is my problem with them, and it has been. You don't go in there and change the game plan. Do not go in there and it's all good, right? We handle the stat. Well, Drew handles the stats here, so I take no credit for that. I was just going to assume you were right.
Early on, he was that, but they've shrunk his game down to saying this is your job, and he's done it great. He's done an amazing job at his job. Just stick by doing that job, and you'll be just fine.
And I know in here, I'm going to do something to Ohio State fans that my brother does to me that I can't stand. the Manchester United. This reminds me of the Chelsea. Ohio State. Look at the reason you lost to that J.J. McCarthy team. Because J.J. McCarthy did what he was supposed to do all game, and then twice in the fourth quarter, they said, hey, make a throw. And he made the throw, and he was clutch. That is what you need to do with Julian saying, dude, just do what you are supposed to do, and then at some point in the third quarter, make that big pass to the wide receiver whose name I keep forgetting, and make it happen. Jeremiah Smith. And make it happen. That's it. Because if you go out of this game plan and this kid tries to go out and win the Heisman against Michigan, you're going to freaking lose. You're not going to drop out of the college football playoffs. I'm just not going to want to hear from you next week because I'll be done with you because there's zero excuse to lose this game.
Absolutely right.
All right. And here, before we jump back to the top 25, I want to give Ray some credit and I want to give them out. So this is FanDuel's top 6 Heisman Trophy winner odds. Number 6, Gunnar Stockton of Georgia plus 5,000. Get him out of here. Marcel Reed of Texas A&M plus 1,500. Kind of got a chance. Depends what he does this week.
I think he's had too many mistakes. He's had too many interceptions, too many just bad plays for me in general.
Do we know his status?
I think they rested him last week to be able to play this week, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay. Now, this is where it gets exciting for me. Sitting at number 4, Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt plus 650. Good odds.
Hasn't done enough.
I know.
Hasn't done enough.
Number 3, Jeremiah Love of Notre Dame.
Absolutely.
At plus 450. Sitting at number 2 at plus 400. So for a better, those two are neck and neck. Julian Sayin of Ohio State. Sitting at the number 1 spot with minus 125.
Joe Fagnano.
So in Vegas's odds, the clear favorite right now for the Heisman Trophy, Fernando Mendoza of Indiana.
I mean, I don't think that there's another quarterback. Look, well, think about it. He's a quarterback, so he's already getting a skew. The team's undefeated, and he's having probably the best quarterback season out of anyone there, and is doing the most for his team. Jeremiah Love's great. He's not a cut above the rest in terms of stats with other running backs. He is the best quarterback in terms of value to his team and stat-wise and how good his team is doing. That makes sense to me.
So I wanted to give him that love. But for me, this is what this tells me. And this is funny because this is how it plays out. I'm screaming about my guy. Buckeyes are screaming about their guy. They're neck and neck. Plus 400 and plus 450, that's neck and neck. So we all have to close the gap right now on the Indiana kid. And I don't think he deserves it, but that's a different story for a different day.
I don't know, man. He does a lot for that. He's Diego Pavia, but with an undefeated team. If I'm being
I'm a hater. And I lost a crappy one way back in the day to freaking Johnny Manziel. I'm trying to sneak one away. Let's run through the rest of your top 25 because we do have some good ones. We talked about Ohio State, Michigan. Speaking of Indiana, on Friday they play at Purdue. That's a rival. It is a rivalry game.
Listen, Purdue's a bad team, but they have a win every year, man.
Absolutely. We talked about Texas A&M and Georgia. Texas Tech travels to Morgantown to take on West Virginia. Come on,
the West Virginia team's been looking good lately. They've been looking good lately. However, this Texas Tech team is really good. So
I know, but hey, crazier
that's
things.
That's not a rivalry, by the way.
I know, but Texas isn't available for Texas A&M, and I think
TCU.
TCU in here. When is the backyard brawl? Next week? I don't. I guess.
No. That was played like week 3 or 4. West Virginia won that one.
Oh, well, yeah, they did. My bad. What are we doing? Rivalry don't make no sense sometimes.
I agree.
Get it together. Sorry, Ray's comment threw me off. Yeah, that's very true. Very true. If Ohio State was to take out Indiana in the Big Ten championship, Julian saying one of those two could win. Texas Tech takes on West Virginia. We talked about Oregon. Ole Miss versus Mississippi State on Friday. Ole Miss not heavily favored here in this game. I'm going to talk about that one in a little bit, but
Mississippi State can get up for a game or two this season. We've seen it. And Ole Miss, let's see how they bounce back from just the a million Lane Kiffin talks and if Lane Kiffin has gotten them focused or if they're still all over the place.
And here's the funniest part. We had a whole conversation on Tuesday of heavy rumored of I almost called him Les Miles, Lane Kiffin to Florida with LSU kind of thrown in the mix. And this week it is completely flipped. Florida seems to be completely out of it. And LSU is making a huge, huge push to try to get Lane Kiffin in down there in Baton Rouge.
I we'll talk about that, in future weeks. But I think if you're Lane Kiffin, you have to go in the locker room and go, don't listen to that. This is where we're at right now. Don't let that affect you because that team can put up 30 on you and you're looking going, whoa, what the hell happened? Because you weren't focused.
If I'm Lane Kiffin and I know that I'm leaving, I might break the glass on you know what, guys? I am leaving. So let's go win this damn thing while I'm on my way out. Might be a way to rally the troops.
Whatever you have to do to get this team focused, do it. Just don't let them buy into all the thing and not be focused.
100%.
Oh man, Oklahoma's playing themselves this week. Damn, man. I know it's Oklahoma State. I know it is. I just needed to get that in there.
I love you for that. Yes, Oklahoma takes on Oklahoma. No, Oklahoma takes on Oklahoma State. This should be business.
The Oklahoma State team is bad. They're really bad. Wait, is Oklahoma playing Oklahoma State? I thought we just had them in the Sneaky Watchables.
Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. What are we doing here?
Oklahoma plays LSU. We talked about it.
Moving on. This is why we shouldn't be talking about it because we're just going to screw each other up. Notre Dame takes on Stanford.
When you just
we're 30.
I know it's a rivalry game, but this team sucks. Win, beat them.
The only thing what I don't like about this game is it's like a 10 o'clock start. It's the only thing that worries.
It's 7 o'clock in Stanford. It's fine.
Okay. All right. Whatever. I'm just trying to make something out of it. BYU, we talked Alabama. BYU takes on UCF.
UCF is bad. This BYU team should drub them.
Miami, Utah takes on Kansas.
Kansas has been unable to finish games. Utah has been struggling lately. I think it's close, but I think Utah comes away with it just because Kansas is just, like I said, the offense was what's keeping them alive, and they've been struggling lately, and so Kansas doesn't have anything right now.
I agree. We got to skip down a couple. USC takes on UCLA in a very, very traditional Pac-12 rivalry.
It'll be fun.
Right. Right. It'll be fun. A sneaky good one here. Virginia takes on Virginia Tech. This is a big one. This is the game for these guys. Virginia Tech. Here's the thing. You bring that first half effort that you brought against Miami against Virginia, you might be up 24-10 going into half.
Yeah, the issue is they're playing at the same time as the Iron Bowl and UCLA USC, so maybe put them on a multi-screen, multi-view. But
come on now, you already know
that's a game where I'm going out of everything. I'm not. I'll be watching the end of Vandy, Tennessee before I watch the start of Virginia Tech, Virginia.
I can respect that. SMU takes on Cal in a huge rivalry.
SMU looking really good lately.
They have
sneaking their way into the ACC championship conversation, but depending on some results. So we'll see what happens there.
And unranked last week, coming in as a newcomer. The other newcomer, we talked about it, number 22 Pitt. We talked about Georgia Tech. Tulane, the Green Wave. They take on 1-10 Charlotte.
Bad. I mean, Tulane needs to win this game easily to continue to press for that, because anything close, I think James Madison jumps them.
Wow. I mean, I would like that.
Or they should be there now, but
yeah, but I would love to see that. I'm just going to say for the record, I know I said that I would always put whoever that out of Power 5 conference team was in the watchables. I don't, you're playing a 1-10 team. You're not in. No. I might only look at my phone to see what the score is for that game. And then we talked about Arizona and Arizona State. So that wraps up your top 25. That wraps up who's everybody's playing. Drew, let's make some money off of it. Big bros, big bets. let's get it rolling. Those are your top 25 spreads right there. I did want to add in a lot of the rivalry games in there just because, man, they get fun. Utah minus 11.5. Ole Miss only 7.5 point favorites. Texas A&M only minus 2.5 point favorites. But the two that I really wanted to point out, Arizona State not favored against Arizona, and Houston not favored this week either against whoever Houston is playing that I'm going to tell you in Baylor. Houston is not favored against Baylor. Arizona State not favored against Arizona. Oregon only 6.5 point favorites. Tennessee only 2.5 point favorites. Alabama only 5.5 point favorites in the Iron Bowl. And then there's Ohio State sitting there 10.5 point favorites versus Michigan.
Should be more. Like, they should win by more.
Your graphic is covering up one of mine. So you may need to get that off for me when we get to the locks, just so that everybody can see what those are. Iowa minus 6.5 against Nebraska.
No one needs to see your 32.5 point spread. No one needs to see that. I'm putting this back up.
South Carolina minus 2.5. Louisville minus 2.5 against Kentucky. Boston College minus 3.5. USC 21.5 point favorites against UCLA. The Florida one is in. Florida State this week. Remember when we cared about that game? Yeah. Florida minus 1.5 point favorites. Virginia 9.5. Alabama's on there twice because I don't know what I'm doing. NC State minus.
You're that into it.
Because I'm that into it. NC State minus 7.5 over North Carolina. UNLV minus 8.5 over Nevada, bringing that Vegas rivalry in there. Indiana 28.5 point favorites, as we said, against Purdue. Notre Dame, what was it? 32.5?
32.5.
32.5 over Stanford.
Drub them.
Oh, listen, I think we got 60 in us this week. Now let's get to our locks. Let's lock it in this week.
You're fine.
I'm in love with some of these. Ole Miss minus 7.5 over Mississippi State. I know, Drew.
I see me. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, I know. I see you there. Ole Miss, I like this Ole Miss team. I like this offense. I think Mississippi State can hang around for about a quarter. Texas A&M at Texas over 51.5. Why the hell not? Texas A&M don't play no defense. They want to score points. If this thing gets bad, Texas A&M could do it themselves.
Yeah. Texas defense scares me, but I like it.
Arizona at Arizona State, 48.5. That's your lock of the week, baby. Put that in. Both these teams coming to score points and play no defense. Love you, kid. Cincinnati plus 3.5 over TCU. You can't lose all the big ones, damn it. At least not this week, please.
Well, like the only issue that I have is one, just the wind in our sails are flat. There are no wind. It is dead. And so we'll see if we come out motivated. I hope we do. And also, we always just lose to like TCU at the end of the year. And so I don't know why we play them every year. I don't know why we lose to them every year, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be a 1-point loss and you still get the win.
Listen, that's all I'm looking for. Just cover my 3.5, Cincinnati, okay? Alabama, Auburn over 46.5. Why the hell not?
That's the one where it could be 24-24, 27-24, and you come away. It could also be 13-10, and you're like, well, this sucks.
Well, I'm praying for that not to happen. And then last but not least, it's kind of a cheap one, but I don't care. Give me Florida minus 1.5 over Florida State. Florida State sucks. They're bringing back Mike Norvell.
So does Florida.
But Florida at least can play in some big games and win them. I ain't seen Florida State do anything this year other than like the first week of the year that absolutely makes me want to do anything with them with my money other than bet against them.
That's fair. Florida 11 points last week. I don't trust them at all.
Now, for the sake of fairness, okay, some of these upsets are in here just because they are fun to look at. First of all, Navy plus 148. Give me that all day, baby. Navy takes on Memphis. Give me Navy all day, okay? Sprinkle that into parlays. Auburn, if you believe in them like I did, only plus 180, plus 188 to win the Iron Bowl. Virginia, because here's the thing, and this is why these are here. No, one of these boxes is getting checked. Not everybody is making it through this rivalry week unscathed. Virginia Tech, they are plus 280 against Virginia. Michigan, plus 310 against Ohio State. I mean, listen, if you're a Michigan fan, you're like, yeah, it's going to be 5 in a row. I'm putting my money on that. I mean, that's just, why not? I would take one and put the Buckeye spread in one and put Michigan in the other. UCLA, why not? Plus 110 or plus 1100 to take out USC. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? And last but not least, this is an absolute hater pick. If you don't like Tulane, like I don't like Tulane, Charlotte is plus 2,800 to take out Tulane. Why the hell not?
Charlotte's bad.
I know. But get up for one game and do the Straub Bro Sports Show proud.
Ooh.
Absolutely.
I shouldn't be touching your graphics.
No, that's okay. I already taken it down. All right, Drew. Let's get rolling. Let's finish strong. Time to get to our NFL, and we start on Thanksgiving with some good ones. Packers at Lions, Chiefs at Cowboys, Bengals at Ravens. But we get Joe Burrow back, so we get Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson, which makes it star-worthy. Drew, what you think about these three?
These are all great games. Usually, the issue is have the bad Lions or the bad Bears. All these teams are either good
Or
fun to watch. I was good, fun to watch, or it's a game where it's going to be close.
Yeah, well, and not just Joe Burrow back, Jamar Chase is back as well. Green Bay, you are chasing the Lions. This is your opportunity to kind of close that gap and make me shut my mouth and stop calling you mid. If you're the Lions, man, listen, show us why you're still on Thanksgiving, even though we should have taken you off a couple of years ago, and why you're there and why you're back and why you are what a lot of people consider still the team to beat in the NFC.
Absolutely.
Chiefs at Cowboys.
You're going to be a fun game.
Oh, buddy, this one kind of scares me.
Dude, you got nothing to play for right now. You're playing with house money. Just throw the ball. It's going to be 35-28 in the third quarter. It's going to be a great game.
Let's go. I'm excited. I'll be drunk. Sorry, should probably say that, but listen, I'll be in my cups. I'll be in some turkey and some stuffing, and I'll be ready for my boys to mess this damn thing up. End this Mahomes thing. Let's go, boys. All right, this is the week we make the playoff. The playoff run begins to gain momentum. And then for the Bengals, I swear on everything that I will be thankful for tomorrow. If you go out there and get Joe Burrow hurt, the ass reaming you are going to get from me as an organization come Tuesday is going to be viral.
And also, by the way, just a fun game. Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Ravens have a bad defense this year. The Bengals have the worst defense in the NFL this year. Points are going to be put up, and that's what I'm thankful for, is that all of these games are going to have points.
Oh, you just jinxed the absolute hell out of us, but thanks a lot.
You know what's not going to have points? This Friday game.
Right. Bears at Eagles. Eagles looking to bounce back from an absolute smack sauce loss from the Dallas Cowboys this past week. That didn't even make any sense, but I don't care.
Bears could win this.
Bears could absolutely win this.
This is a game they could win. And that's all I got to say really about this game.
I'm not going to lie. I need my Cowboys to win, but I may talk more smack if the Eagles lose.
Yeah, I know.
So,
also,
go ahead.
No, I was going to say, the Sunday slate, the only game I actually am looking forward to is maybe Texans-Colts. Everything else, maybe the Shador start, but until he gets sacked for the 8th time by Joey Bosa or Nick Bosa, and I go, all right, cool, we're going to turn this off now.
Hold on, I'm going all the way back up because it was in there, and I wanted to bring Coach's comment back. Boom. With the weather, he say 17-9 Browns. Purdy doesn't have the arm strength to play in that.
But Christian McCaffrey has the legs to run in that. That's the only issue. I think the issue for me is a lot of teams that we've beaten or gotten close are relying on their quarterback play. The 49ers do not rely on their quarterback play. Our run defense isn't great. It's good, but it's not great as great as our pass game is. I like San Francisco in this just because, one, I think they're gonna make it a much more difficult time for Shador than Vegas did, and also our defense is gonna have a hard time keeping us in the game when we're not relying on the 49ers aren't relying on Purdy to do everything like other teams have relied on their quarterback to do.
Give me Shador and the Browns. Let's go. Rams at Panthers. Don't care.
Listen,
Jags.
I was gonna say everything else. Don't care.
Is Baker playing this week?
He's up in the air. So
then if he's not, I don't care about that game either. Give me the 4:00 slate.
Vikings Seahawks. I mean I like the Seahawks in this one, but kind of not really sure about that one. Buffalo Pittsburgh. I think is a big game for both of them because they're both trying to keep their playoff hopes alive there. And we'll see what team pops up in terms of the Bills. So that's a big one there. Chargers should win, but like I said, they're up and down. So we'll see what Vegas looks like. But I still like the Chargers. Sunday night, I think the Broncos should absolutely swarm Mariota and take that one easily. Monday night, I think this is while we had the high of Jameis Winston, we're about to have the low of Jameis Winston. I like the Patriots big on that one.
We have so much good football between, excuse me, the NFL on college on Thursday and kind of NFL, but heavy college Friday, one of the best college Saturdays that we're going to have in a long time. We can start to rest up and get ready for work on Sunday because we can ignore like 90% of this. It's good to see no bye weeks. Good to see everybody playing this week, but yeah, I ain't got much on that one. Drew, we are running longer than we have ever before. Let's get done. Let's get finished with the footy.
Absolutely. We're going to talk about yours first. It's the bounce back game you need. However, it's a very difficult opponent, a team that plays super well, one at home, but two against big sides. Ken, you need a bounce back here, but what do you consider a bounce back against a tough Crystal Palace team?
3 points or nothing.
Okay.
That's what
I wanted to hear.
If you want to be back, I don't want to point against Crystal Palace. You are absolutely correct. That is a tough place to play. That is a tough team to play against no matter what, and they absolutely play up to the big clubs. I don't care. Be better. We're better. We have more talent. We have a better starting 11. We've got a better second 11. Be better.
Listen, and I love the confidence. I love the heart.
It's not confidence. I'm demanding
the pride there, I should say. And Crystal Palace also playing tomorrow in the Conference League, so that's going to help you a little bit. So we will see there.
But let's get to the big one.
To the bigger game. Biggest rivalry besides you. I said besides the Manchester Derby. I put this over you and Liverpool, if I'm being completely honest. That's a personal thing for me. That is what it is. Arsenal, Chelsea, 1 and 2 in the table. That's Arsenal being 1, Chelsea being 2. Both dominant results in the Champions League. Arsenal with a 3-1 victory over Bayern. And my second one here, Chelsea, best win of the season, 3-0 drubbing of Barcelona. This also goes out to our 18-year-old Brazilian Estevao, a man-of-the-match performance. And if you need to watch that run and that goal. It's absolutely phenomenal. Shows the talent of this kid.
Just send it to me.
I will send it to you. Outplayed the other wonder kid on the other side, Yamin Lamal, in the game. That was absolutely amazing. They deserve that. But we've had the celebrations last night. We're moving on to this game. This is a game to put us right into the title race with this win. And this can prove that regardless of the opponent, at our best, we can beat anybody. And that was shown against PSG. It was shown against Barcelona. There's a much better defense and a team that now, in terms of common opponent, beat the team that you lost pretty badly to in Bayern. It's at Stamford Bridge. The fans are going to be insanely up for this game. We have technically a day's more rest because they played today, we played yesterday, but they are honestly, they're the toughest opponent we're going to play, I think, all season. I like us in this game. However, this is an Arsenal team that can make it very, very hard to do anything offensively. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to a draw, and or Arsenal is much superior in set pieces. If off a corner or off a set piece, they score a goal and take it late.
You have the ability to cut the lead to 3 points with a victory here. This would be a massive victory for a Chelsea team that I picked to finish second in the Premier League. So you're finally showing through on what I thought you would be this year. Dude, and I'm going to just talk to you like we don't have anybody watching. You cannot let this team come into Stamford Bridge and beat you. They're not that good, okay? They are not walk into Stamford Bridge and beat a talented Chelsea squad good. They may be able to steal a point from you, but they should not beat you. I like Chelsea 2-1 with a late winner to take down Arsenal and clip the lead to only 3 points as we get ready to go into Christmas.
Listen, if there's anyone that could game plan perfectly for a superior opponent, it's Enzo Maresca. He did it against PSG. He did it against Barcelona. Because listen, if I'm being honest, in terms of talent, they are superior opponents. But Maresca's tactics, if given enough time, can beat anybody. And so I'm giving us the advantage in terms of tactics against Arsenal. However, there are some shortcomings that Arsenal can easily take advantage of. Like I said, set pieces, because of Cole Palmer being out, the lack of creativity in the final third.
When is he coming back?
The issue is, and he was literally going to come back for this fixture, he slammed his toe into a door and fractured his toe, and now is set back.
Okay. Jesus, kid.
That's the issue. And so it was a freak at-home accident, apparently, and so we'll see what happens there. But I think we have a great chance at taking 3 points. I think the moderate in me says, if knowing all of soccer, it's a draw. However, Arsenal can easily take this game with our deficiencies if we don't play up to how we have been playing against top-tier opponents.
We are optimistic football fans. We are the most pessimistic football fans that you will ever find. I also have to point out Crystal Palace is 5th in the table and we are 10th. So as much crap as I'm over here talking, there is.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, they're a good team.
I don't care. Get 3 points. All right. That's it. That's it. That is it. I got beers waiting for me in the fridge. It is the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. I'm about to go crack me a couple. So first thing I want to say is, please, everyone tonight, please be safe. Please be safe. I don't worry about the people who go out regularly to have a little bit of fun tonight. I worry about the people who use this as a night to go too far. So please be careful tonight. Uber, Lyft, call, whatever the hell it is. Get yourself home safely today. Secondly, it's Thanksgiving. Enjoy your tomorrow. I won't get to see this bozo tomorrow, but I'm going to see him probably on Saturday. Enjoy your family, enjoy your friends, enjoy your food. And man, if you don't got a plate, man, you better hit me up because I'll slide you a plate myself. Happy Thanksgiving to all of our people who are always up in the chat. My guy Ray, I'll always be tapping in with you tomorrow. Pops, love you. Happy Thanksgiving as well. To everybody, seriously, we appreciate you. Thanks for rocking with us with a very long show today. Bro, you got any turkey legs to give away?
I told you I got 2 left. And I'm going straight into the shout-outs because both of them are this. First one, because we talked soccer, but I sent this in the chat. Small wing to U.S. Soccer. They officially announced their project in which they are combining with all soccer leagues and big youth soccer organizations in the U.S. to fund youth development in the U.S. to, quote, make soccer the biggest sport in the U.S. I love it. And there's only a small wing right now. It's only a small wing right now because you need to see the plan in action, but the plan is amazing. We've been screaming for this. It starts at the youth level. It starts with early development, and this, if done correctly, is going to do exactly that. I love it. Let's see what happens. You could, listen, next year you could get the big wing. You could get the big leg. You could get the big leg if it goes the right way.
Goosies, make the game I love affordable to the kids who actually want to play it, because then we will win a World Cup.
Absolutely. And the biggest leg of them all goes to all of you guys. Thank you for liking, viewing, sharing, commenting, making this one of the best parts of my week, and talking to my brother and interacting with you guys and just being able to do this year after year and have a great time doing it, to bigger and beyond and forward. And Ken, this also goes to you. I love you. You have an amazing Thanksgiving. I will see you on Saturday. But you also got me into this, and I couldn't thank you enough. I am thankful for all of you, but I'm thankful to you as well, Ken. I love you. Everyone have an amazing Thanksgiving.
I didn't think we was going to get all emotional at the end of the show. Bro, the journey that you have gone on with me to do this show and to do the broadcasting and to do everything that I drag you to that you don't always want to do, it makes it worth it when we come in here every Tuesday and Thursday or every Wednesday, whatever it might be, because there is not a single person on earth that I would rather do this with than you right there, my A1 since day one. So I'm thankful for you too as well, Brody. Nady, I love you, big dog, too. Happy Thanksgiving. Mama, of course, love you. I will see you tomorrow with all of Paula's baked goods from Shmoopy Sweets and Treats that we would be destroying in a good way on Thanksgiving. But yeah, I'll echo what he said. We couldn't thank you enough. We're starting to really gain some traction. We're starting to really get a footing under us and a viewership, and we don't do that with all of you. A big thank you to Daniel at the Cuyahoga Falls Rapids, who shares this thing to 170-something pages every single time. And I go back through and see all of them and all of the talk of the towns and the sports groups, all of that. All of my Rapids guys who come in and tap in with us when they can. Nady and Ray, my boys, my cousin, and one of my best friends who tap in with us every single week and take time out their day to tap in with us. And of course, Mom and Dad, always love you, our number one supporter. So yeah, I'm gonna let Pops roll out with it on the comment. We appreciate all of you. Have a fun and safe holiday Thanksgiving break. Don't get too wrapped up with the crazy kids all being at home for a couple of days. But either way, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy your loved ones, and please remember to always love yours.
Hey, Ken's got fire and a wild hot take. Hey, Andrew's stats make the whole place shake. Hey, laughing loud when your team goes down. Hey, Straub boys run this sports town. Show. This is the Straub Bro Sports Show. Sundays, Mondays, we live for the fight. Hey, college game day and Thursday night. Hey, rivals fall and the banter flies. We bleed our teams till the day